Have you ever noticed your dog acting distant? No enthusiastic greeting, just a brief glance before turning away. It can sting, almost like rejection. But what if there's more beneath the surface? Dogs have moods and sometimes need space, but emotional distance could also signal something deeper: stress, anxiety, or hidden struggles. Curious to know the signs? Stick around for 10 surprising clues that your dog might be emotionally distant and what it could mean for your bond. Trust me, you won't want to miss the fifth clue. They don't seek out physical contact. Let's start with the obvious one. Dogs are naturally affectionate. Most love a good belly rub, a head scratch, or just lounging next to you. But if your dog avoids being touched or even moves away when you try to pet them, that might be their way of saying not now, human. Now, don't panic just yet. Some breeds are naturally more independent, like Shiba Inus or Afghan hounds. But if your dog used to love cuddles and suddenly wants their space all the time, it could mean something's off. They avoid eye contact. Dogs don't lie, and their eyes say a lot. When a dog feels connected to you, they'll often make gentle, soft eye contact. It's not a stare down, it's more like a warm little nod from the soul. But if your pup is constantly looking away, avoiding your gaze, or seems uncomfortable locking eyes with you, well, it might mean they're feeling detached. In the dog world, breaking eye contact is sometimes a sign of anxiety, fear, or mistrust. Not every dog is a stare master, but when they can't even hold your gaze for a second, it's worth paying attention. They don't respond to your voice. Okay, let's be real. Most dogs know their names, and they definitely know the sound of the treat jar. So if your dog stops responding when you call them or acts like they didn't hear you at all, it's not always selective hearing. This could be a sign of emotional distancing. A dog that's emotionally tuned in will perk up when you talk to them, even if it's just to complain about your day. But if they seem disinterested or zoned out when you're speaking to them, something's off. It's kind of like when someone is emotionally checked out of a conversation, except with more fur, they don't follow you. Around dogs are known for their loyal shadow behavior. You go to the bathroom, they're right outside the door. Head to the kitchen. Suddenly they're hungry too. It's kind of sweet, kind of creepy, but mostly sweet. So if your dog suddenly stops tagging along, it could be a sign of emotional distance. Maybe they're tired, or maybe they're just not feeling the bond like they used to. Again, independence is a trait in some dogs, but changes in behavior are worth noting. They seem disinterested in play. Here's a big one. Dogs that stop playing or waving a quiet red flag. Dogs are playful creatures. It's literally how they express joy and connection. Whether it's fetch, tug of war, or zoomies in the backyard, play is their happy language. So when your dog doesn't get excited by toys or walks away when you try to initiate play, that's a major clue. Emotional withdrawal often shows up first in their energy level and play habits. And it's not about being lazy. It's about not being emotionally there. They avoid sleeping near you. Let's talk about bedtime. Most dogs love curling up next to their humans, as it's cozy, safe, and comforting. But if your dog prefers the other side of the room, or even another room altogether, it might be a sign they're pulling away emotionally. Sure, sometimes it's just too hot to cuddle, but if this becomes a pattern, especially if they used to be your bedtime snuggle buddy, it could be more than just the weather. Distance in sleep can reflect distance in trust, and that matters. They flinch or pull away when you reach for them. This one's tough to see, but it's important. If your dog flinches when you go to pet them, or if they pull back like they're bracing themselves, it could signal fear or discomfort, both physical and emotional, especially if this is new behavior. Sometimes dogs become emotionally distant after a stressful experience. Maybe a loud fight at home, a rough trip to the vet, or even just overstimulation. But if they're suddenly afraid of your touch, it's worth talking to a vet or trainer. Dogs remember how they feel. not just what they see. They don't get excited when you come home. You know that feeling when you walk in and expect a welcome parade, but you get crickets instead? Yeah, it stings. Most dogs go bonkers when their human comes back, even if it's just from taking the trash out. So if your dog barely lifts their head when you walk in, that's not normal. Not for most dogs anyway. A dog that's emotionally distant won't show the same enthusiasm. And it's not about being tired. It's about a lack of emotional connection at that moment. That little tail wag tells you everything. When it's gone, it speaks volumes. They ignore your commands, even the easy ones. This isn't just about being stubborn. If your dog suddenly stops responding to simple cues like sit, come, or stay, it might not be a training issue. It could be emotional detachment. When dogs are emotionally present, they engage with you. They're tuned in, even if they're being a bit naughty. But when they seem to flat out ignore you, like you're just background noise, that's a red flag. It's like they're saying, I hear you, but I'm not really here right now. They start spending more time alone. Last but definitely not least, isolation. If your dog starts hiding out more often, whether it's under the bed in another room or just away from you in general, they might be emotionally distancing themselves. When a dog chooses distance over connection, they're sending a message, even if they can't say it out loud. Dogs are social animals. Even the quiet ones want to be near their people. So when they isolate, it's often a sign of stress, sadness, or emotional fatigue. So what should you do? Here's the good news. Emotional distance doesn't mean your dog doesn't love you. In fact, it's often the opposite. Dogs get emotionally distant when they're overwhelmed, uncomfortable, or unsure how to feel. So the best thing you can do, be patient. Don't force affection. Create calm, safe moments. Give them space when they need it, but show up consistently. A little routine, gentle attention, and positive reinforcement go a long way. And most importantly, if you notice big changes in behavior, always check with your vet first. Sometimes emotional distance has medical roots like pain, thyroid issues, or cognitive decline in older dogs. Your dog may not speak your language, but they're always communicating. All you have to do is listen. If this helped you understand your pup a little better, give that like button a nudge. And if you've got a fur baby who's giving you the cold shoulder lately, drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips that actually help you build a better bond with your dog, because they deserve it. And honestly, so do you.